Jeannie, the next question I have for you is, what convinced you to make the move from the cushy or
Um,
secure corporate environment to the wild west?
well, I had been contacted multiple times by recruiters for
Okay,
project management consulting over the last couple of years.
okay,
None of those conversations had been very satisfying, but I had two or three last summer and I just asked for more information. And I finally thought to myself, okay, this might be a solution for me. I'm not feeling super satisfied in my current role. I actually did not love mergers and acquisitions, project management. It's just not my wheelhouse. Um, so I'm not loving what I'm doing.
hmm
I am looking for other opportunities, and maybe this is for me. So I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I started talking to other people.
hmm
That was how I ended up with Tom Waddell on the
sure,
phone one morning, just trying to learn more about this world, about this consulting world. Um, I also thought about the financial piece of it. What would it take to make this work?
yep,
You know, because I had always believed that I would never go independent in any way, shape, or form because I needed security. I
sure,
needed to know I had a job every day and benefits and I had a paycheck and that is always going to come in and I've got paid vacation and just all of everything corporate. I really needed that. But
yep,
my life is a lot different now. I don't have children at home. I don't have anyone else depending on me except my cat. And I think that he's pretty inexpensive. And I thought, can I take the risk? And I realized I could, and I want to. I
yeah,
want to do this.
yep,
So once I did the financial analysis and realized what I needed to have happen financially for this to work, and once I thought through the logistics of it and what I wanted this to look like for me,
hmm
I reached out to talk to Tom and said, yeah, I'm ready to do this. And a month later, I was working.
very nice, very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Um, on my side, you and I are very much in parallel path here. I've been thinking about it for a long time as well. Um, it's a itch, if you will,
Mhm.
that is in the back of my mind. I'm always wondering if I could run my own business,
Yes.
in any shape or form. Um, you know, the the bad news at our stage of the career, obviously you might be a little bit more, have more seniority than I am, but the further you go on the corporate ladder, the more you're golden handcuffed, right?
Mhm.
What you have is pretty hard to give up. But at the same time, I tell myself too, you owe to yourself to explore and see what else you could achieve other than, um, what you already have, right?
Yeah.
And
I was ready for a change. Actually, when I left Nonin, I had climbed the ladder. I was director of quality when I left there. And like you said, I was wearing the golden handcuffs.
yeah,
And there were aspects of my job that I enjoyed, but there
hmm
were aspects of it I did not care
sure,
for that much.
yep,
And it was very hard to think about leaving that for anywhere else, for any other
yeah,
job. It
hmm
just, life was good. Oh, definitely. I mean, quality of life is one of the benefits of doing this, in my
yep,
opinion.
hmm
I work a lot and that's okay. I mean,
yep,
that's my choice because I have
yep,
two contracts and I chose that. So I work a lot, but when I'm not working, I'm not thinking about it.
yep,
And if it's Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock and I'm like, you
hmm
know what? I think I'm wrapped up for the week. Can't
yep,
think of anything else I need to do. Back
yep,
at it Monday. I'm done. And I just be
yep,
done. And I don't feel
absolutely,
like I'm cheating an employer or anything like
yep,
that because at least for me, as an independent project manager, I only bill for the hours I work. So
yep,
if I work less hours, then I get paid less hours. But
yep,
if I don't have something to do, why in the world would I sit around and try to make work for myself, build a client, which is dumb to
yep,
do anyway,
yep,
when I can take Friday afternoon off and go for a bike ride?
absolutely,
Hey, my work is done. That a lot of times companies this is in my very limited experience. People will
Hmm.
bring in a private project manager or a consultant, a contractor, or
Sure.
whatever you would like to call it, for one of two reasons. Either they have a project that is going completely off the rails and they need somebody from the outside to come in and focus on it and try to clean it up. And
Sure.
sometimes, usually projects are going off the rails because you've got a project manager that's trying to do 6 other things at the same time. So they're
Yep.
overloaded to top it all off. So we're
Yep.
going to bring in this consultant for 25 hours a week and they're going to clean this mess up and
Yep.
get this thing back on track.
Hmm.
Or it's projects that we want to do more stuff and we just don't have enough people. We don't know that we're going to be wanting to do all this more stuff forever.
Yep.
And when we do our calculus on this, right now it's cheaper for us to just hire a contractor than to try to
Sure.
bring on an employee. Maybe I can
Absolutely.
get approval for a contractor, but I can't get approval for another headcount. And that
Yep.
is, and I've been in that boat where I couldn't get approval to hire somebody, but I could get approval to bring in an intern or a
Hmm.
contractor or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. So, Jeannie, are you worried about um, potentially a financial downturn could happen imminently? Are you worried about your contract go away
Mhm.
um, and therefore your financial security?
I'm not actually. I really am not. I think that companies are going to still want to make products. They're
Yep.
still going to do development. They're still
Yep.
going to do design. Maybe they cancel 10% or 20% of their projects. Maybe
Yep.
projects get delayed because they can't get parts. God,
Yep.
good knows the supply chain issues right now are terrible.
Yeah.
Um, but they're not going to stop completely.
Yep.
It's not going to work that way.
Yep.
Um, there and companies are going to look at things like, I want to do a project. I'm not super feeling confident about, the economy right now. So I don't want to hire somebody. I
Sure.
don't want to bring on a full-time employee because I may
Yep.
not have work for them in a year. I'm
Yep.
just going to bring somebody on for 6 months. So
Yep.
I think what we do,
Yep.
it might take a hit a little bit. My
Yep.
understanding is that when COVID first started, this field took a big hit.
Yep.
Um, but I'm not worried, you
Yeah.
know, I'm
Yep.
just not, for some reason, I'm just not. And I can't even tell you why.
Yeah.
Really clearly, but I am not concerned. I feel like I will have work when I want it.
Yep.
I really do. And maybe it's just, I feel like I'm really good at what I do. It
Yep.
sounds so egotistical, but I feel like I'm good at what I do. I'm
Hmm.
working on building a reputation for being dependable
Yep.
so that when the time comes that my next contract wants to talk to maybe somebody that I've worked with before,
Hmm.
that they'll hear nothing but good things. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I think again, I have similar perspective. I think we're blessed in a stable, somewhat stable industry. Medical device
mhm,
is going to be some of the product that we provide to the society is not optional, right? When you're sick,
correct.
you need to get it taken care of, and it's not negotiable in certain cases, and so the industry as a whole weathers the storm a little bit much
Yes.
better than others. And again, like you said, we I talked to Tom, and we simulate ourselves, or um, we think ourselves are the shock absorbers, like you say. Instead of going out growing your staff, you could bring in these independent consultant to become your shock absorber. And as your business grow, or need go ebb and flow, we are there to absorb those demand. And there's a lower level commitment. And
Mhm.
as long as folks like you and I could build up our reputation and make sure that people trust our abilities and our deliveries, I think the work will be there.
I
Definitely
think